First the March, then the May, and now the June SAT is canceled. What does this mean? Hey guys, it's Jen. I run a tutoring business specializing in the very test we'll be talking about today, the SAT. College Board has been pretty vague about their plan for the SAT, but yesterday they actually released a game plan, sort of. So yes, they did provide some answers, but then that led to a whole bunch more questions. So in this video, I want to share with you what we know right now, some of my predictions about what could happen to the SAT in the future, and my recommendations for you. I will link College Board's full statement in the description box below, but I also wanted to break it down for you. So I hope you're ready for this no-nonsense video because we're getting down to business. First up, the facts. All right, so number one, the June 6th SAT is canceled. That means no SAT exam and no subject tests. I'm not sure about you, but to me, this was a long time coming. Looking at the state of our nation at the moment, I personally have been bracing my students for this possibility. Number two, College Board did say that they are planning to administer extra exams, providing extra testing opportunities. So if everything opens back up in August, then College Board plans to offer a test every month from August to December. Registration for these tests are going to open sometime in May. So I know I'm offering you a list of facts, but I felt I needed to insert a bit of opinion right here. Under normal circumstances, there would have been a test offered in August, October, November, and December. This means College Board is adding just one extra test in September. So personally, I think they can do a little bit better. If you think about it, they canceled two exams officially. So that's the May and the June. But let's be honest, how many of you actually got to take the March test? In actuality, it's more like we missed out on the opportunity to take 3 exams. And they're really only replacing it with 1 for the would-be seniors. So I think in this way, they can add a few more testing opportunities. Number 3, though, time for some good news. College Board has been reaching out to its community partners so that they can expand testing capacity. In this way, capacity shouldn't be an issue. So if you want to take the test, you will have the opportunity to do so. Number 4 is also some good news for select students. So College Board has decided that it will open its registration early for certain groups of students. Number 1, if you signed up for the June exam, because obviously you can't take it. And number 2, if you are in the class of 2021, but don't have an SAT score on your record yet. So for you guys, you will have early access to register for the test, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of that. All right, guys, it's time for number 5, that 800-pound gorilla in the room, the possibility of an at-home online SAT exam. What? Okay, so to be fair, College Board did say that this is highly unlikely and it is certainly their last resort. But if schools remain closed in the fall, their plan is to apply the same protocols they're using for the AP exam to the SAT. Immediately, this is raising some massive concerns for me, and I'm sure for you as well. So I'm going to share a couple of these with you. Number 1, we've got issues surrounding security, privacy, and fairness. So to address the security piece, College Board has, their president actually has said that they plan to implement a remote proctoring system that will basically shut down everything on your computer short of the exam itself. They'll have access to your mic and your webcam so they can track any suspicious sounds or movements. Of course, this is raising a lot of privacy concerns for a lot of people. Basically, what you are doing is allowing a third-party client to take control of your computer during the test. And most people are not okay with this. This is their personal device and nobody wants a third party having such extensive access to it. And then there's that question of fairness, right? What happens if you don't have a reliable laptop, let alone one that includes a webcam? Apparently, College Board is calling around to low-income families to get an idea of their current condition. So they're trying to get information like how much bandwidth those families have. To me, it will be very difficult to standardize this exam experience across the board, and really that's the point of the SAT. All right, my second issue here is with College Board likening the SAT to the AP exam. For one thing, at the time of me filming this video, the AP exams haven't happened yet. So we don't really know if they're going to be a big success. And I think it's a little bit risky for College Board so early on to be pegging the SAT to the AP exams. Also, the nature of the SAT is completely different from that of the APs. You probably know that most AP exams follow a format of half multiple choice followed by some free response questions. Now, because College Board knows how easy it is to cheat on the multiple choice, they've actually done away with that part of the test for the at-home exams. So AP exams are now 45 minutes long with only short essay questions. But the SAT is a completely multiple choice based exam. There is an optional essay portion, but over the years, it has gotten less and less attention. So most likely, we're going to have to maintain that format. Anytime College Board goes through a major change, for example, back in 2016 when they made over the SAT, that was a year-long process. That was years long, perhaps. So with only a few months left, I can't imagine they would both change the method of administration and the exam structure. So if the exam is going to stay in the current structure of multiple choice questions, then College Board will risk rampant cheating. And then my last concern here is actually for you students. It takes a while to get acquainted with these online computer-based exams. So there are exams out there currently, the GRE, GMAT as an example, that are already computer-based. But students spend months getting comfortable with those tools. Granted, College Board did say that they will make the testing software available to students before the test date. However, it's not going to give you enough time to really gain the level of comfort I believe you need to perform your best. The SAT is already a stressful experience, and with all of this added uncertainty, I'm afraid that it may negatively impact student performance. All right, so there you have some of the facts that we currently know, as well as some of my interpretation of what's going on. But next, I actually want to share with you a prediction I have about the future of the SAT. So a lot of you may know by now that there are schools who are altering their testing requirements. So schools like Harvard, for example, have dropped their subject test requirements. And then there are school systems like the UC schools that have gone test optional, at least for the class of 2021. More schools will likely follow suit, but I highly doubt every school will drop their testing requirements. I do, however, foresee some big changes coming to the SAT, especially in the way that it's given. So I want to tell you something that College Board said. I want to use their words here. So in College Board's own words, they're investing significant resources in developing a digital remote testing option for all students. Again, I don't think it's in anybody's best interest to have students take these tests at home, but I do think that having computer-based exams in a controlled testing center could be a good option. And since College Board is already investing so many resources in digitizing this test, I do feel like a computer-based exam is a possible reality in the near future. Many grad school exams like the GRE and GMAT are already digitized, and I do think there are some perks associated with that. So one is the flexibility in test dates. Right now, the SAT is offered 7 times a year in a normal year, and students are having to make their schedule match the testing dates. I think if we can move to a computer-based exam, then students can then pick the dates that work for their schedule, and that could be a really nice change. Another really good opportunity here is for more immediate test results. So right now, it takes about 2 weeks for College Board to even get back your multiple choice Scantron-based answers, right? having an online test or a computer-based test would allow students to have their scores pretty much immediately after submitting. And I think that would also be very, very helpful. And lastly, I want to share my recommendation for you. You know, what happens next is really dependent upon how this pandemic plays out. But if you are planning to take an upcoming SAT, I would highly advise you to continue to check College Board's updates to see when that registration opens. While testing capacity should not be an issue, you can never really be too safe, and it's better to act early because of the sheer number of students who are having to take this test. In the meantime, I would highly advise you guys to prepare for the SAT. Like I alluded to a little bit earlier, I think the chances are high that at least one of the schools on your list is going to require a standardized test score, and you're going to have to provide one. Once things open back up, you guys are going to go right back to your busy selves. Also, with all the test dates kind of back to back, you definitely want to be prepared in case you need to retake the test. I'm currently working on a self-study video series to help you plan out your prep. I also run live, small group online classes for those of you who are looking for a little bit more structure and accountability. That could be a really great option for you. And if that is something you're interested in, please join my mailing list. I'll include the link below. And if you sign up for that, you'll be notified of when the registration goes live. I really hope you guys liked this video and you found it helpful. If so, please give it a like and share it with your friends. I would also love it if you could subscribe to my channel to be notified of more content in the future.